what is your burning issue when it comes to the topic of transformation?
Thank you, Zanele. My burning issue is transformation of the financial services sector. I've been in the industry for 10 years. I was a banker with a well-known private bank across the road for 7 years. And as much as I was treated well, there is a glass ceiling that it exists when it comes to banking and that specific bank as well. And when I looked at the panel today, I realized that as women, we always sit on these panels, we're preaching to the choir, and we are sort of trying to break that glass ceiling from below. But where are the men that have the power to help us exert that force from above? I keep saying that with August being Women's Month, why do we have women's only events to speak about how we need men to be our advocates? Where are they in the room? And so my burning issue and something that I really want to advocate and perhaps even put to the floor is that as much as we speak about transformation of the sector, should we be fighting for a seat at the table or should we be building our own tables? Because let's think about it, in South Africa today there still isn't a female founded bank, and there's only one bank that has a female CEO, being African Bank. And when I look at the top 40 as well, in the JSE, correct me if I'm wrong, there's no female CEOs with the departure of Maria Ramos. So I looked at the top 40 list as at last night. So for me, when you look at all of that, it just speaks to the fact that there's lots of work to be done as females, but there's lots of work to be done in creating advocates for us and the transformation agenda in the people that have the power to effect change.
Thank you so much. Tell me your angle and some of your thoughts around this.
Well, mine is very simple. I think as women we are too modest. I don't think as women we are claiming our space as we ought to. And you are talking about the financial services sector. If you look at all the financial services, the whole financial services industry, they're offering the product, the funeral cover, a funeral cover product. And yet, that was the product that was actually, the women came up with that product, and it was huge in the townships. And as women, I'm saying we're not claiming our space. We are not coming together and saying, you know what? We have to be the captains of this industry. We shouldn't be waiting for men to be the ones that are telling us what to do and when to do it. It's the same, the issue of gender is the same as the issue of race. If you're talking about the issues of race, if you are going to forever be expecting somebody to do something for you, you will end up being part of that mediocre. Okay, you will end up with that. Yet if you decide that, consciously take a decision, I want to cut it there, and go out there and do it. Irrespective of what they are going to say, of course they're going to say you are aggressive. I'm talking from experience. I do that all the time and I'm told I'm aggressive. But so who cares? You have to be aggressive sometimes to get what you want.
If they give you a title, I always believe just step into it.
Exactly.
Step into it.
Yes.
I think for myself, actually, I've been in the infrastructure sector for I think 20 years now. And if you look at the sector, highly male dominated, globally, regionally till today. But what continues to become a burning issue is that what's made to appear attractive and sexy from an education point of view for young girls does not involve these sectors. It's the conversations at home, it's the conversations at school. It's also the dynamics of what happens, I think, at tertiary level, where we find a lot of young women who may have the interest and the appetite in the STEM careers, they lose that interest fairly quickly. And there are a number of reasons why they lose that interest, and I think it's what's rewarded. Is not as qualitative at times. It doesn't support what is deemed as more female trait-like behavior. It's what is projected out there. When I see the list on the JSE, when I see captains of industry who either are developers in the infrastructure sector or run the operations of the infrastructure sector, you don't see someone that looks like yourself. And therefore, you don't know if you're going to be in rooms where you're welcomed or even where that seat is there for you. So I think at a professional level, it's been a big passion of mine to really talk to mothers often, to say the conversation around making people or young women feel as though they can participate, far surpassing sometimes their male counterparts. You know, it starts at home. It's the subjects that you help your children choose. You know, the statistics, I mean, this is 25 years ago in my master's research, where it was actually discovered that a majority of young women choose their subjects based on the messaging that's given at home. If it's maths and it's too difficult for you, drop it. Take something where you're going to feel more suited and more comfortable.